The noose bit into my neck like a lover's betrayal, tight and unforgiving, as the chair kicked out from under me in that godforsaken hotel room overlooking Times Square. I remember the way the world tilted, the garish neon lights blurring into a kaleidoscope of regret. My last thought, a venomous whisper. They'll pay for this. Then nothing, black, endless, the kind of void that swallows screams. But death isn't the end. It's just the universe's cruelest reset button. I woke up gasping, not in hell, but in my old Brooklyn apartment. The alarm blaring 6:45 a.m. on a Tuesday in June 2022, my hands clawing at sheets that smelled like vanilla candles and fresh betrayal yet to come. My name is Ava Reynolds, and I'd just been given a do-over. 32 years old, sharp as a stiletto, and now trapped in the body of the woman who trusted too much. The mirror across the room showed her. No, me, staring back. Honey blonde hair in a messy bun, green eyes wide with the ghost of what was to come. I touched my throat. Smooth skin, no rope burn. It was real. The date on my phone confirmed it. 3 months before the boardroom ambush that would frame me for embezzlement, 6 months before my suicide, that the tabloids would splash across every feed from coast to coast. Wall Street was Kid Takes the Plunge. Was it despair or deception? They called it that, like I was some tragic footnote in their empire of lies. I stumbled to the kitchen, heart hammering like a junk bond about to default. Coffee grounds spilled across the counter as my hands shook. This is happening. This is fucking happening. The betrayal replayed in high def. Marcus Hale, my mentor, the Silver Fox CEO of Apex Capital, who'd groomed me for the C-suite with late-night scotch sessions and promises of partnership. And there was Tyler, my fiancé of 2 years, the charming quant trader with dimples that hid his shark's grin, whispering in Marcus's ear like Judas with a Bloomberg terminal. They'd planted the digital trail, siphoned funds through shell accounts I'd unknowingly signed off on during a merger frenzy. 20 million vanished, pinned on me. The feds raided my office at dawn. Marcus testified with crocodile tears about my erratic behavior. Tyler, he held my hand at the psych eval, murmuring, "It's gonna be okay, babe," while his text to Marcus lit up my seized phone. "She's cracking." Phase 2. I slammed the mug down, ceramic shattering against the tile. Rage boiled up, hot and electric, the kind that doesn't fade. It evolves into strategy. This time, I wouldn't crumble. This time, I'd burn it all down from the inside, and they'd watch their kingdoms crumble while laughing at the irony. But first, survival. I needed proof, leverage, the kind that doesn't evaporate in a courtroom. And I'd start small, because empires fall one thread at a time. By 8 a.m., I was on the subway to Midtown, the rattle of the 4 trains syncing with the pulse in my temples. Wall Street hummed with its usual frenzy, brokers barking into AirPods, baristas slinging $7 lattes to the damned. Apex's glass monolith loomed at the end of Broad Street, a 72-story testament to greed, its lobby a cathedral of marble and malice. I badged in, the scanner beeping like a heartbeat, and rode the express elevator to the 52nd floor. My desk waited, pristine except for the wilting ficus Tyler had gifted me last Valentine's. Poison ivy in disguise, that fucker. "Morning, Ava," Sarah from compliance chirped, her ponytail bouncing like she hadn't just notarized my doom in the timeline I'd escaped. I forced a smile, the kind that doesn't reach your eyes. "Hey, Sarah. Coffee run later. Small talk is recon." She nodded, oblivious. "Good." Marcus's office was glass-walled, a fishbowl for the sharks. He was already there, barking orders into a headset, his Brooks Brothers tie askew like he'd wrestled it on in the dark. 58, divorced twice, with a penthouse in Tribeca and a Rolodex of senators. He'd recruited me straight out of Wharton, called me his protege, fucked me over a conference table once after a closing deal. Team building, he'd joked. I shuddered, the memory slimy. This time, no blurred lines. This time, I'd draw them in bloodless ink. I knocked, slipping in with a stack of merger reports. "Ava, doll," he boomed, hanging up. "You're early. What's the rush?" His eyes lingered, appraising, like I was livestock at auction. In the old life, I'd blushed. Now, I met his gaze, steel for steel. Just excited about the Vanguard acquisition. "But Marcus, I need a favor." "Nothing big." I slid the papers across his desk, my pinky brushing the edge of his monitor. close enough to glimpse the encrypted drive icon flickering in the dock. He leaned back, steepling his fingers. Shoot. I want access to the offshore audit logs. Full read only, for the next board meeting prep. It was a small ask, innocuous on the surface, due diligence for the deal that would actually be their laundering pipeline. But those logs, they held the ghosts of every dirty dollar Apex had funneled through Cayman trusts and Dubai ghosts. Marcus chuckled, low and patronizing, the sound like gravel in my gut. Audit logs. Ava, sweetheart, that's needle in a haystack stuff. Why not let the grunts handle it? He waved a hand, dismissive, already turning back to his screen. She laughed at my small request. No, he didn't laugh. He sneered, but it was the same venom. In that moment, the hook sank deeper. This was the man who'd signed my death warrant with a flourish. I swallowed the bile, nodding. Sure, just thought it'd help close the deal faster. Retreat, regroup. As I left, I palmed his stress ball from the desk, childish, but symbolic. Back at my station, I fired up my terminal, fingers flying. VPN tunnel to a burner cloud server I'd set up last night in a caffeine-fueled haze. No time for sleep when you're rewriting fate. First target, Tyler's personal email, cracked with the password I'd guessed in my dying hours. Apex King 69. Pathetic. His inbox was a gold mine of foreplay to felony. Flirty threads with interns, but buried deeper, the real dirt. Emails from Marcus. Phase 1 complete. Ava's signing the dummies tomorrow. Move the 5 mil to the Zurich drop. Dated 3 days from now. My blood turned to ice water. They were accelerating the frame job, spooked by an internal whistleblower rumor. Me, in the old life, too buried in spreadsheets to notice. I forwarded it all to my shadow account, heart racing. But proof wasn't enough. It was foreplay. Revenge? That was the main event. Apex wasn't just a firm. It was a hydra, tentacles in every hedge fund from Boston to LA, billions sloshing through dark pools. Marcus's secret? He'd been skimming since the '08 crash, rebuilding his fortune on the bones of retail investors who'd lost their shirts. I'd uncovered fragments in my last life, dismissed as paranoia. Now, I'd exhumed the whole rotting corpse. Lunch was a falafel cart on the corner, eaten standing, mind mapping the play. Step 1, infiltrate the board. Step 2, weaponize the data. Step 3, pull the pin on the grenade that was Apex's balance sheet. But Tyler, God, Tyler. We'd met at a rooftop mixer in Soho, him in chinos and a smirk, me fresh off a red-eye from a client pitch in Chicago. Sparks, sex, the whole rom-com bullshit until it curdled into conspiracy. In the old life, his last words to me were, I love you, but this is bigger than us. Bigger than us. I'd clung to that in the noose's embrace, wondering if it was love or alibi. My phone buzzed. Hey babe, dinner at La Bernardine? 8 p.m. Tyler, right on cue. I typed back. Can't wait. We're the blue tie. The one that matched his eyes, the liar's eyes. Tonight, I'd start unraveling him, one thread at a time. The afternoon blurred into calls and models, my brain a war room. By 5 p.m., I had a skeleton key script running in the background, scraping transaction metadata from Apex's API, disguised as routine compliance checks. Sarah waved goodbye. Marcus vanished into a town car. I lingered, watching the floor empty, the city lights winking like conspirators. Home was a walk-up in Williamsburg, exposed brick and overpriced rent, the kind of place that screamed up-and-coming to recruiters. I showered off the day's grime, steam fogging the mirror where yesterday's Ava still haunted. Tonight wasn't about confrontation, it was reconnaissance. Tyler arrived at 7:45, bottle of Napa Cab in hand, kissing me like nothing had soured. Missed you, he murmured, nuzzling my neck. I laughed, genuine, edged with hysteria, and poured the wine. Over scallops and small talk about market volatility, I probed. Heard rumors about Vanguard. Marcus seemed off today. Tyler's fork paused midair, just a beat too long. Yeah? Probably the feds sniffing around again. Nothing new. His smile didn't crinkle his eyes. I nodded, filing it away. Dessert was tiramisu. His hand on my thigh under the table felt like chains. Back at my place, we tumbled into bed, his body familiar yet foreign, every thrust a reminder of the knife he'd twist later. As he slept, I slipped out, padding to my laptop in the living room. The script had pulled 200 gigs of raw data. wire transfers, beneficiary lists, the digital DNA of Apex's sins. Cross-referenced with public SEC filings, it painted a picture uglier than I remembered. Not 20 mil, but 1.2 billion laundered over a decade, funneled to offshore PACs that bankrolled half the Senate. Marcus wasn't just crooked. He was a kingmaker, puppeteering policy with pilfered pensions. And Tyler? Co-signer on half the docs, his quant models the smokescreen. Dawn crept in as I encrypted the haul, uploading to a Swiss vault no subpoena could touch. Sleep claimed me on the couch, dreams laced with falling. Ropes, ledgers, lovers' lies. But when I woke, it was with purpose. Day 2 of the reset, escalate. The office buzzed with pre-merger jitters. I cornered Sarah in the break room. Those audit logs, Marcus greenlit them. Can you loop me in? She blinked, surprised. Really? Okay, sending now. Small victories. The files hit my inbox. Terabytes of tedium, but buried in the noise, the anomalies glowed like fireflies in fog. Transfers to Vanguard Partners Limited. A ghost entity Tyler's models had birthed. Marcus summoned me mid-morning. Ava, about yesterday. The logs? Fine, you get them. But keep it quiet. Suspicion flickered in his eyes. Had I pushed too soon? Of course, I purred, leaning in. Wouldn't want to rock the boat. As I left, I caught his glance at my ass. Predatory, unchanged. Rage simmered, but I banked it. Patience was my new lover. Lunch with Tyler at a deli near the exchange. He was fidgety, checking his phone. Everything good? I asked casual. Yeah, just. Marcus is on edge. Big fish this week. I squeezed his hand. We'll handle it. Together. Lies on lies. That night, alone, I dove deeper. The data revealed the twist I'd half suspected. Tyler wasn't the mastermind. Marcus had dirt on him. Gambling debts from a Vegas bender 2 years back. $300K owed to Russian bookies. Leverage. Bigger than us. It humanized him, just enough to sting. But mercy? Not in my vocabulary anymore. By week's end, I had a dossier that could topple dynasties. Next move, plant the seeds of doubt. Anonymous tips to the Wall Street Journal tip line, veiled enough to draw scrutiny without fingering me. Then, the real play, reroute a test transfer, make it look like an internal glitch. Watch them scramble. The board meeting loomed, a fortnight away. That's when I'd strike. But first, a personal gut punch. Tyler proposed, again, on script, in Central Park, under a canopy of cherry blossoms that mocked the poison in his veins. Ring in hand, knee bent. Ava, you're my everything. Marry me. In the old life, tears and yes. Now, I hesitated, the city's hum fading. Tyler, I need time. His face crumpled, confusion blooming. What's wrong? Nothing, I thought. Everything. As he walked me home, arm in arm, I felt the fracture begin. Good. Let it spiderweb. The fracture didn't just spiderweb, it shattered. 2 days after the proposal dodge, Tyler cornered me in the apartment, his dimples etched with worry lines that made him look almost human. Talk to me, Ava. You've been distant. Is it work? Marcus. We were on the couch, takeout tie congealing on the coffee table, the TV droning CNBC's endless ticker of doom. I studied him. This man who'd held me through migraines and mergers, who'd whispered futures in the dark that dissolved like sugar in rain. In another life, maybe we'd have been the couple in those glossy Forbes profiles. Power duo, unbreakable. But timelines diverged, and mine forked into fury. It's nothing. I lied, tracing the vein on his wrist, pulse steady under my thumb. Just the pressure. Vanguard's a beast. He relaxed, pulling me close, his cologne, sandalwood and sin, flooding my senses. We got this. You're the smartest in the room, always. Flattery, his default deflection. As he kissed my forehead, I slipped a tracker app onto his phone during a bathroom break, disguised as a shared calendar sync. Digital leash, round 2. Sleep came fitful, his snores a metronome to my machinations. By 4 a.m., I was at the desk, cross-referencing the audit logs with Tyler's quant models. Patterns emerged like veins in marble. Algorithms tweaked to flag anomalies that were actually clean transfers, routing clean money dirty. Marcus's genius, or Tyler's, under duress. A late-night email chain caught my eye. If she pushes on the logs, stonewall. Can't have her sniffing too close. Marcus to Tyler, CC to a burner. She was me. They were accelerating, spooked by my small request. Dawn broke with a vengeance, rain lashing the windows like accusatory fingers. Office by 7, beating the rush. Sarah waved a muffin. I waved back, diving into the data lake. By noon, I'd isolated a $50 million thread, Vanguard to a Maltese fund, then looping back as consulting fees to Marcus's family trust. Pocket change for them, but the thread that could unravel the sweater. Afternoon brought the first ripple. An email from compliance. Routine query on recent transfers. SEC ping. Marcus is doing testing waters. I replied with boilerplate, but attached a subtle flag. My script's doing bouncing a microtransfer to a dummy account. Glitch in the matrix, baby. Tyler texted, lunch? Need to talk. Deli again, but tension thick as fog. He poked at his pastrami, eyes darting. Ava, Marcus mentioned you asked for logs. What? Casual, but his jaw ticked. I sipped my seltzer, bubbles biting my tongue. Due diligence. What's the big deal? He shrugged, too quick. Nothing. Just. He's paranoid. Thinks there's a leak. I laughed, light and lethal. A leak? In our house. His smile was a ghost. Under the table, my foot brushed his calf. Affection or interrogation? Both. Back at Apex, the waters churned. Whispers in the halls. Feds? Again? Marcus called a huddle, his face thunderous. People, tighten up. No loose lips. His eyes skipped over me, but I felt the probe. That night, dinner at his club, steak and scotch, the old ritual. Ava, he drawled, swirling his Macallan, you're quiet. Trouble. The club was old money incarnate. Leather armchairs, cigar haze, portraits of robber barons glowering from oak panels. I met his gaze over the rim of my glass. Just thinking about legacy, Marcus. What we leave behind. He barked a laugh, genuine this time, slapping the table. Legacy? Kid, we're building empires. Yours is next. Lies, sweet as bourbon. I probed gently. Vanguard's clean, right? No skeletons. His pause was a chasm. Spotless. What? Just heard rumors. Smoke without fire, yet. Home alone. Tyler, working late. I escalated. The shadow server hummed with fresh pulls. Bank statements linking Marcus to a senator's campaign. Quid pro quo inked in wire trails. But the real bomb? Tyler's debt logs. Paid off in Apex script. Blackmail's House of Cards. Week 2 dawned with a bang. Wall Street Journal teaser alert on my phone. Apex Capital under scrutiny. Offshore ties raise eyebrows. Anonymous source. Me, through proxies. The office erupted, phones ringing off hooks. Marcus stormed the floor, vein bulging. Who the fuck talked? Eyes landed on me, lingering. I played the ingenue. This is bad, Marcus. We need transparency. He grunted, retreating. Tyler called, voice tight. You see the article? Jesus. Yeah, I said, feigning shock. Think it's internal? Silence, then, gotta be. Look, stay low. Low. I was the storm. The proposal hung like a guillotine. He pushed again over wine at our place. Ring box open on the table. Ava, please. I can't lose you. His eyes pleaded, cracks showing the boy beneath the broker. In the old life, I'd said yes, sealing my fate. Now, Tyler, there's something I need to know. He froze. What? Were you ever going to tell me about the debts? Bluff, but his blanch was biblical. What debts? Vegas. The Russians. His face drained of color, fork clattering. How? I leaned in, voice silk over steel. I know everything, Ty. Or almost. Panic flickered, then calculation. Ava, it's not what you think. Marcus, he helped. But it's over. Liar. The word hung, heavy. He reached for me. I recoiled. We can fix this. Together. Echoes of his last words in the psych ward. I stood, ring glinting mockingly. Get out. He did, doors slamming like a verdict. Alone, catharsis crashed in. Tears hot and furious, sobs racking my frame. Not for him, but for the girl who'd believed. Wiping my face, I turned to the screen. Time to weaponize. The board meeting was gold. 20 execs in the 60th floor conference room. Panoramic views of the harbor mocking our pettiness. Marcus presided, PowerPoint droning on Vanguard synergies. My turn. Projections looked solid, but I flagged some irregularities in the funding streams. Gasps rippled. I projected the charts. Red flags on offshore hops. Anonymized but damning. Nothing illegal, I added, but worth a look. Marcus's smile was glacial. Appreciate the diligence, Ava. We'll review offline. Offline meant bury. But the seed was planted, doubt blooming. Post-meeting, Tyler waited in my office, disheveled. What the hell was that? You're poking the bear. Anger, fear raw? I shut the door. Truth hurts, doesn't it? He advanced, grabbing my arms. You don't get it. Marcus, he'll destroy us. Us. Still clinging. He already did. I whispered, twisting free. In another life. He stared, uncomprehending. What? I laughed, bitter. Go. Before I make this worse. He left, shoulders slumped. Victory tasted like ash. That night, the twist hit. An email from an unknown sender. We know what you're doing, Ms. Reynolds. Meet at the pier, midnight. Come alone. Chills raced my spine. Not Marcus. Too crude. Whistleblower? Or Hunter? The pier was Brooklyn's edge, wind whipping the East River into frenzy. Fog shrouded the lamps. I clutched my pepper spray, heels clicking on warped wood. A figure emerged, tall, shadowed, voice gravel. Ava. You stirred the pot. Not Tyler. Not Marcus. A Fed. No, private eye vibe. Cheap suit, 5 o'clock shadow. Who are you? I demanded, stance wide. Name's irrelevant. Client is. He tossed a thumb drive. Everything on Marcus. Real dirt. But it costs. Blackmail, reversed. What do you want? Your silence on Vanguard. My client's invested. Ah, the Hydra's other head. I pocketed the drive. And if I don't? He smirked. You will. Or the story breaks, about you. That little glitch? Traced. My script. Exposed. Heart sank, but I bluffed. Try me. He laughed, fading into mist. Midnight tomorrow. Same place. Wired funds, or it all burns. Back home, the drive yielded treasure. Marcus's Cayman ledgers, full Monty, 1.8 billion cycled, names named. Senators, CEOs, even a Veep contender. But the cost? My freedom. Sleep evaded, dawn brought resolve. No payment. Instead, escalation. I fed snippets to ProPublica, ghosts in the machine. By noon, headlines screamed. Apex scandal widens, billions in question. Office chaos. Layoffs whispered, Marcus barricaded. Tyler cornered me in the stairwell. Ava, stop. Please. He's coming for you. Desperation cracked his voice. I never wanted this. He made me. Pity flickered, unbidden. Too late. I pushed past, but his hand caught mine. I love you. Lie or truth. The line blurred. Evening brought the confrontation. Marcus's summons. His office, door locked. Sit, he growled, face mottled. The leaks. It's you, isn't it? Denial died on my lips. Prove it. He slammed a printout. My IP, bounced but traced. I built you, Ava, and you'll destroy me? Venom dripped. I stood calm. You destroyed me first. Confusion furrowed his brow. What the? I laughed, the sound echoing. Let's just say I've seen the future, and it's yours to burn in. He lunged. I sidestepped, door bursting open. Security? No. Tyler, wild-eyed. Marcus, enough. Chaos. Shouts, scuffle. Tyler shoved him back. She's telling the truth. I can't do this anymore. Betrayal's echo. Marcus sneered. You weak shit. Both of you out. But the damage was done. Sirens wailed distant, feds inbound. We fled to the lobby, Tyler trailing. Ava, what future? In the elevator, truth spilled. Death, reset, revenge. He paled. God, I'm sorry. It was him or the debts. Save it. Street level, rain again. Go home, Ty. Disappear. He grabbed me. No. We fight together. Madness or absolution. The pier loomed, midnight. PI waited smug. Funds. I tossed a decoy drive. Better. Cops swarmed, my anonymous tip. He bolted. They pursued. Tyler watched, awestruck. How? Practice. Dawn broke, city awakening to ruin. But mine? Just beginning. Dawn's light filtered through the rain-streaked windows of my apartment like a reluctant witness, casting long shadows over the chaos I'd wrought. Tyler slumped on the couch, hollow-eyed, nursing a black coffee that had gone cold hours ago. The TV blared in the background, CNN's talking heads dissecting Apex's implosion, ticker scrolling. Shares plunge 40% on embezzlement probes. Marcus's face flashed on screen, stone-faced in an archive clip, touting ethical investing. Irony tasted like battery acid. You really died? Tyler whispered, voice cracking like thin ice. He looked smaller without the suit. In sweats I'd lent him. The ring box abandoned on the side table like a grenade with the pin half pulled. I nodded, leaning against the counter, arms crossed over the ache in my chest. Telling him wasn't strategy. It was exhaustion, the kind that sneaks up after adrenaline's crash. Rope in a midtown suite. Framed for the very shit you helped bury. His flinch was visceral, hands trembling. I didn't know it'd go that far. Marcus said it'd just be a slap on the wrist, pressure to retire you quietly. Quietly. I barked a laugh, sharp and joyless. He testified, Ty, painted me as unhinged. And you? You held my hand while feeding the narrative. The words landed like punches, but he didn't duck. I was scared. The debts, they had photos, threats. Family. But that's no excuse. Tears welled, unmanly and raw. Part of me, the old Ava, wanted to comfort, to bridge the gulf with forgiveness. The new one? She sharpened the knife. Get out, I said finally, voice flat. He stood, hesitant, then nodded. Door click, silence. Alone, I exhaled, the weight lifting fractionally. One thread cut, but the tapestry frayed wider. By 9 a.m., my inbox was a war zone. Recruiter headhunters smelling blood, old Wharton classmates with schadenfreude-laced support, and an encrypted ping from the PI's client, a heavyweight, likely the senator with Apex ink on his soul. This isn't over, Reynolds. Threat or promise? I'd find out. Apex's skeleton crew limped on. I clocked in, badge beeping defiance. The floor was a ghost town, half the desks cleared, post-its marking the fallen. Sarah hugged me in the hall. Girl, you're a rock. Heard you flagged those transfers, saved our asses. Hero worship, undeserved. I shrugged. Just doing my job. Marcus's office gaped empty, yellow tape a mocking bow. Rumors swirled. Fled to the Caymans, or holed up with lawyers on Fifth. Tyler's desk? Cleared too. A note. Personal leave. Vanished, or vanished me from his life. Afternoon brought the feds, 2 suits from the Southern District, badge flashing in the conference room. Ms. Reynolds, we understand you raised concerns internally. Lead agent, Harlan, mid-40s, no nonsense with a Boston clip. I played straight. Yes, sir. Anomalies in the logs. Here's what I found. Dossier dump, redacted to shield my scripts. They nodded, scribbling. Appreciate the cooperation. Anyone pressure you to stay quiet? I hesitated, Tyler's face flashing. No. Lie for leverage. Harlan's eyes narrowed. Think on it. Call if you remember. They left. I exhaled. Allies or auditors? Evening solo. Falafel again. Eaten on a bench in Domino Park. Williamsburg Bridge humming overhead. The city pulsed, indifferent. Joggers, tourists, deals dying in distant towers. My phone buzzed. Unknown number. We need to talk. The future you saw? It's mutable. Chills. Not Tyler. I texted back. Who? Reply. Someone who knows nooses. Heart stuttered. Stalker? Accomplice? I bolted home, doors locked, blinds drawn. The shadow server yielded no matches. Paranoia bloomed. Sleep? Armed with dreams of falling. Week 3. Apex filed Chapter 11, a dignified suicide. Marcus surfaced in headlines. Arrested at Teterboro, cuffs glinting for the cameras. Billionaire banker booked on fraud. Tyler? Radio silence, but a Google alert pinged. His LinkedIn updated, seeking opportunities in fintech. Coward or clean break? My small request echoed in the fallout. Reporters hounded. Ms. Reynolds, did you suspect? I stonewalled, smile polished. Behind scenes, I moved chess pieces. The Swiss vault? Wired portions to victims' funds. Anonymously, restitution without redemption. But billions loomed. Apex's corpse a feast for vultures. The twist deepened midnight, a knock-shattering silence. Peephole. Tyler, rain-soaked, eyes haunted. Let me in, please. Against better judgment, I did. He dripped on the rug, words tumbling. Marcus called from lockup. Said you're the leak, that you'll burn for it. Fear laced his voice. But I know better. Ava, run. With me. Run. I scoffed, but unease stirred. To where? Your debt collectors. He shook his head. I paid them clean. With my savings. For us. Gesture grand, timing suspect. Why now? Because I saw it. Your eyes when you talked about dying. I can't live with that. He stepped closer, hand outstretched. Vulnerability, weaponized. The old pull tugged. I shoved it down. Too messy, Ty. Then let me help clean. He pulled a flash drive. Marcus's black book. Contacts, codes. I stole it before they raided. Gift horse, Trojan? I snatched it, scanning. Gold. Access to Apex's dark pool servers. Billions in limbo. All yours, he said softly. Start over. Temptation whispered. Partnership in ruin. But trust? Fractured irreparably. Fine. I relented. But on my terms. We worked through the night, his quant brain meshing with my forensics. By dawn, we'd mapped the maze. 2.3 billion frozen in escrow, ripe for reroute. Decision time, causing controversy. Redirect to charity? Noble, but toothless. Expose the web, crash the cronies? Chaos, innocence scorched. Or, seize it. Billions as my war chest, new life forged in fire. Morally gray, American as apple pie. Tyler's eyes widened at the plan. That's insane. Felony. So was killing me. He swallowed, nodding. Complicit. Execution dawned. Coffee-fueled hack. VPNs layered like onion skin. Mid-morning, the transfer initiated. Billions siphoned from Apex's corpse to a labyrinth of NGOs, whistleblower funds, and yes, a slush account in my name. Vanished, untraceable. Ripples hit instant. Markets quaked. Headlines howled. Apex assets vanish. Cyber heist or justice. Feds swarmed again. Harlan's face grim. Ms. Reynolds, your whereabouts last night? Alibi. Tyler, vouching sleepover. Just talked. He lied smoothly. But the anonymous texter struck. Well played. But the noose was mine. What? Attached. Photo. Me on the pier. Timestamped. Stalker confirmed. Panic clawed. I ghosted Tyler. Sublet crashing with a Wharton pal in Chelsea. City felt closing in. Taxis honking accusations. Week 4. Summons to D.C. The senator, Apex's puppet, wanted clarity. Hearing room sterile, wood paneling whispering secrets. He grilled. Ms. Reynolds, these transfers you're doing? Denials dripped charm. Sir, I'm as shocked as you. But his eyes knew. Adjourned, lobby ambush. The texter, Liv. Woman, late 40s, sharp suit, scar bisecting her lip. Ava, we need to talk. About the real betrayal. Her name, Elena Voss, ex-Apex counsel, fired for insubordination. She'd tipped the feds in my old life, anonymously, sparking the raid that broke me. I tried to save you, she said over espresso in a Georgetown dive. Warned you about Marcus months before. You ignored. Memory flashed. Vague email, review attachments. Spam, I'd thought. Why the games? Couldn't trust direct. They're everywhere. She slid a file. My suicide note. Forged. Tyler's handwriting analysis. He wrote it. Marcus dictated. Gut punch. Tyler, deeper in. Rage reignited. Alliance, she proposed. We take them all. Her intel, Marcus's offshore nest, Tyler's new gig, consulting for the senator. Deal. Women scorned, empires scorched. Back in New York, Tyler's call. Where are you? Feds are circling. I hung up, blocked. Heartbreak is tactic. The move. Billions repositioned again, this time crashing the senator's packs. Markets tanked, retirements vaporized. Controversy erupted. Vigilante justice or economic terrorism. Pundits raged. I watched from shadows, Elena at my side. Tyler's betrayal note burned in my pocket. Confrontation brewed. The note was a talisman, folded tight in my jeans pocket, its edges fraying like the man who'd penned it. Elena's Georgetown safe house, a nondescript row house off Wisconsin Avenue, became command central. Walls papered in printouts and whiteboards scrawled with flowcharts that mapped corruption like a subway system from hell. She brewed tea strong as suspicion, her scar twitching when she smiled, which was rare. Tyler's the wild card, she said one night, pacing as thunder rumbled over the Potomac. Marcus pulls strings, he dances. But love? That's the blindfold. Love, I echoed bitter. The words soured on my tongue, conjuring Brooklyn nights and broken promises. We built something once. Late feeds at diners after 3 a.m. closes, his head on my lap as he confessed quant dreams born in a Jersey basement. Now, forged suicide notes, alibis etched in acid. He wrote it to make it look authentic. To whom it may concern, I can't face the shame. Elena's voice was clinical, but her eyes held ghosts. She'd lost a sister to a similar frame-up, Wall Street's collateral damage. I nodded, tracing the loops of his whys, familiar, intimate. When, week before, Marcus had him practice on dummies. Practice. Like I was a pitch deck. Rage coiled, but strategy tempered it. We use him. Bait. Elena's plan was surgical. Leak his involvement to the dark web forums where white-collar whistleblowers lurked. Not enough to fry him, but to flush Marcus's remaining allies. By morning, ripples hit. LinkedIn imploded with Tyler's connections ghosting, his fintech opportunities drying up like the Sahara. Back in New York, solo, Elena staying dark. I tailed him from a safe distance, burner phone mapping his haunts. He holed up in a midtown Airbnb, blinds drawn, DoorDash bags piling at the door like unanswered prayers. Day 1. He paced the balcony, phone glued to ear, voice carrying on wind. Marcus, it's bad. She's gone rogue. My blood iced. Still loyal? Night 2. Bar crawl, solo, drowning in single malt at a dive near Penn Station. I slipped in, hooded, corner booth. He didn't notice, slurring to a bartender about the bitch who burned it all. Me. Venom confirmed. Confrontation brewed, but Elena reigned. Not yet. The billions, secure them first. Our war chest, 1.7 billion rerouted to a constellation of trusts, victims restitution, legal funds, and a black ops slush for us. Controversial? Hell yes. Pundits screamed Robin Hood robbery. Markets hemorrhaged trillions in sympathy pangs for 01k. Vaporized from Seattle to Miami. Letters flooded my P.O. box. Thank you, Angel. You're a terrorist. Balance teetered, but power? Intoxicating. Week 5, the high-stakes pivot. Marcus's trial loomed in Manhattan Federal, a circus of suits and stenos. I testified, subpoenaed as key witness. Courtroom was mahogany and malice, air thick with perfume and perjury. Marcus sat cuffed, glowering from the defense table, his lawyer a shark in pinstripes. Ms. Reynolds, the prosecutor boomed. Did Mr. Hale ever discuss irregular transfers? I paused, the room holding breath. Truth. Yes, in whispers over scotch. Lie. No, to shield the deeper dive. Not directly, but I suspected. Safe play. But the cross-exam? Defense attorney circled. You benefited from those irregularities, didn't you? Your accounts show unexplained deposits. Bluff, my script's ghosts. Gasps rippled. Marcus smirked, triumphant. Elena texted from the gallery. Stay cool. It's bait. Post-testimony, hallway ambush. Tyler, lurking like a bad sequel. Ava, voice hoarse, eyes bloodshot. We need to talk. Here. Flashbulbs popped. Reporters swarmed. We ducked into a service stairwell, concrete echoing our breaths. What do you want? I hissed back to wall. Forgiveness? No. Sense. He raked hands through hair, wild now. The note, Marcus forced it. Said it'd protect you, make the feds back off if you cracked. Insane logic, but his desperation rang true. I burned the drafts. Hated every stroke. Hated, echo of my hook. Like you hated holding my hand in the ward. He winced. I was acting. For him. But you. God. Ava, when you told me about the noose, it broke me. Tears, real. The scar on his knuckle, from a bar fight defending my honor in undergrad, caught the dim light. Pull. Treacherous. Prove it. Challenge, or trap. Already did. The Black Book? It's live. Codes feeding to the DOJ now. Anonymous. Gift 2. Why? Because bigger than us. That was bullshit. You're it. Confession hung, vulnerable. I searched his face, dimples deeper, haunted. One chance, Ty. No more lies. Relief flooded him. He pulled me close, kissed salt and sorry. Elena's text buzzed. Don't. Too late. Heart, the ultimate fool. Back to the safe house. Our threesome now, Tyler bunking on the couch. Alliance fragile, but potent. We mapped the endgame. Crashed the remaining launders, a $500 mill hub in Panama. Hack night. Pizza-fueled, code flying. Tyler's models predicted ripples. Market dip, but recovery swift. Minimal collateral, he swore. Execute. 2 a.m., keystroke symphony. Billions flowed. To green energy packs, education endowments. A sliver to our escape fund. Dawn. Chaos. Global markets reel. Apex echoes spark panic sell-off. Retirement funds dipped 15%. Op-eds decried anarchist algorithms. Controversy peaked. Protests outside the exchange, signs. Ava for president? Me, the phantom. But the hunter closed. Elena's scar paled at a knock. Feds. No, Senator's goons, 2 bruisers in ill-fit suits. Voss. Reynolds. Come quiet. Brawl erupted. Tyler swung wild, cracking a jaw. I grabbed a lamp, base heavy. Elena's pepper spray felled the second. We bolted out back, into DC night, hearts pounding. They're on to us, Tyler gasped, driving a stolen sedan, hers, nondescript. Elena and passenger, the PI. He flipped. Panic clawed, but adrenaline sharpened. We ditched the car in Anacostia, melted into metro crowds. My phone, burner, pinged. Harlan. Need you. Safe house now. Trap or truce. We went, wary. Harlan waited alone. Diner booth, coffee steaming. You're in deep, Reynolds. No cuffs. But useful. The senator's wiring shut. Testify full, immunity. Full. Tyler tensed. Everything. The moves, the money. Harlan's eyes bored. You're not the villain here. Yet. Decision, controversial core. Expose all. Tyler's notes, Elena's files, my resets? No, the last my secret. Deal, I said. But the billions stay routed. Justice, not restitution. He nodded. Rye. Ballsy. American. Testimony weak. Marathon, cameras flashing. I laid bare Marcus's web, Tyler corroborating, voice steady. Elena's turn gutted. Her sister's story, Apex's hand in a suicide a decade old. Jaws dropped, gallery wept. Marcus cracked on cross. She tricked me. That which knew. Rants devolved, empire evaporating. But twist shadow. Tyler's phone buzzed mid-recess. Unknown. She's lying. The noose? I tied it. Attached. Rope photo my hotel room. Forged? Or? Doubt-seated. Night after. Hotel room. Guarded. I confronted. Your phone. Now. He handed it. Pale. Text deleted, but metadata lingered. Ava, I swear. Out. Ejection. Second verse. Door slam. Tears mine this time. Trust Ash. Trial climax. Verdict. Guilty. All counts. Marcus dragged out, howling curses. Cheers erupted. I slipped away, Elena at flank. Outside. Rain again. Cleansing? Tyler waited, soaked. It wasn't me. Check the EXIF. Timestamp wrong. I did later. Faked. Relief warred with weariness. One more chance. Last. Kiss and downpour. Cinematic, but cracked. Billions settled. Funds locked. My cut modest. Enough for a quiet life. But the final move loomed. The rain didn't cleanse. It corroded, turning the courthouse steps into a slick altar where absolution felt as slippery as the verdicts we'd chased. Marcus's howls echoed in my skull long after the gavel fell, a banshee's wail for the billions he'd clawed from widows' nests and workers' sweat. Guilty on 47 counts: wire fraud, money laundering, conspiracy to defraud the Republic. The senator followed suit days later, his packs crumbling like sandcastles at high tide. Apex, a husk, auctioned to vulture funds that picked the bones cleaner than we'd ever dreamed. But victory's afterglow was barbed wire, snagging on the what-ifs and the whodunits that lingered like smoke. Tyler's last chance hung tenuous, a parole we'd both violate eventually. We crashed at Elena's, now our safe house, the row house, a bunker of takeout boxes and tension. She paced, scar livid under the fluorescence, dissecting the final loose ends. The texture's still out there. That rope photo? Bait to fracture us. Her paranoia was prophetic, mine, personal. Tyler hunched over his laptop, running traces on the spoofed number, bouncing through torn nodes. Pro like the PI? I asked, voice edged. The man we'd busted at the pier had lawyered up, singing about his client, a mid-level Apex VP, bitter and broke. But the texts predated him. Someone deeper, a shadow puppeteer. Tyler glanced up, eyes shadowed. Maybe Marcus had a silent partner. Or, he trailed, hesitant. Someone playing both sides. Me? The thought slithered, unbidden. In the reset, I'd pulled strings that danced on ethical razors, rerouting billions, crashing markets, scorching bystanders. Innocence folded into the fallout. A pensioner in Ohio tweeting despair over evaporated savings. A barista in LA laid off when her hedge fund client tanked. Controversy's chorus swelled, op-eds branding me the ghost of greed, Fox decrying feminist felonies. MSNBC hailing corporate karma. Protests swelled outside my P.O. box address. Leaked, inevitably. A mix of pitchforks and placards. Ava's Avengers Unite. Fame's double-edged sword, slicing anonymity to ribbons. Elena's file grew. Cross-reference threats, a pattern emerging. Look, she jabbed a photo. Grainy surveillance of me entering the hotel in my old life. Noose night. Figure in shadows, hooded, slipping a keycard. Not Tyler. Built, slight, athletic woman. And this. Email fragment. Marcus's account. Handle the loose end. Ease orders. Elena? Her face hardened. Planted. Test me. Or truth. Tyler's voice, soft accusation. Trust fissured again. Hairline but spreading. I mediated, exhaustion gnawing. Enough. We end this. The endgame. The remaining $300 mill. Apex's crown jewel. A crypto wallet Marcus had salted away in Ethereum oblivion. Keyed to a biometric safe in his Tribeca penthouse, now FBI sealed. Break-in. Suicide mission. But Tyler's black book held a dupe code, quantum encrypted. We crack it remotely, he proposed. Funnel to the victim's pot. Clean exit. Exit where? Elena snorted. You're marked, all of you. Canada, I said, impulsive. Vancouver. Rain like New York's, but kinder. Mountains to swallow secrets. Tyler nodded. Elena demurred. I'll stay. Fight the ghosts. Decision weighed. Split or solidify. I chose fracture. Controversial to the core. Go your way, Elena. But the code, share it. She did. Reluctant. Eyes searching mine for betrayal. None yet. Hack night. Tyler and I holed in a Queens motel, neon buzzing like nerves. His fingers flew, decrypting, mine monitored feeds. Midstream, the twist detonated. Wallet not empty, but booby-trapped. Malware bloomed, tracing us. Shit, Tyler hissed. It's live, feeding to a watcher. Cut it. Panic surged, but too late. Door rattled. Feds? No, black SUVs, unmarked. Elena's voice on speaker. It's her. The PI's boss. Me. Betrayal's knife, plunged deep. We bolted, back alley sprint, heart thunder. Tyler grabbed my hand. I yanked free. You knew? Accusation flew. No, God. Ava. Gunshot cracked, brick shattering inches away. Shooter. Elena, silhouette in moonlight, scar a crescent sneer. You were too soft, she called, advancing. Marcus was mine, my ticket up. You ruined it. Revelation crashed. Her sister? Fiction, cover for her own climbs. The texts, the rope, her orchestration, framing me to frame Marcus, double-dipped the chaos. I reset for nothing. Rage boiled, but survival sharpened. Tyler shoved me behind a dumpster. He faced her, hands up. Elena, stop. We can. Crack. He crumpled, blood blooming on his shirt. Ty. Scream tore free, world tilting like the nooses drop. I lunged, tackling her, nails raking, kicks landing. She fought dirty, knee to gut. I headbutt, scar splitting anew. Sirens wailed distant. Her eyes widened, feral. He deserved it. All of them. And me? I gasped, pinning her wrist. Pepper spray snatched, discharge burning eyes. She bucked. I held, whispering, your future's now. Feds swarmed. Harlan's team, tipped by my emergency ping. Cuffs clicked. Elena spat curses. Tyler wheezed, pale on pavement. Ava. Love. Ambulance lights strobed. Paramedics worked, me sidelined, impotent. Hospital wait. Endless, coffee bitter. Surgeon emerged, stable. Bullet grazed, he'll walk. Relief buckled me, sobs silent. Week 6, Elena confessed. Full web, her as architect, Marcus her mark, me her scapegoat. Tyler's note. Her forgery, debts her invention to hook him. Billions? She'd siphoned a cut, now frozen. Trial 2, her spectacle, noose metaphor heavy. I testified last, voice steady. She laughed at my small request, for truth. Then I moved mountains. Gavel fell, life, no parole. Tyler's recovery, slow, scars mirroring mine. Vancouver waited, but we lingered. NY's grip tenacious. The billions? Final reroute. Full to victims, no slush. Clean, costly. Epilogue dawn, Central Park, cherry blossoms mocking again. Tyler, cane leaning, ring in pocket. Marry me? For real. I hesitated, ghosts whispering. Resets gift, choice. Yes. Kiss. Tentative. Future mutable. But as we walked, phone buzzed. Harlan. One more ghost. Marcus's last will leaves it all to you. Billions. Stunned silence. Empire's echo or curse. I deleted the message. Let's go home. Not Brooklyn, not Wall Street. Somewhere unscarred. The city hummed on, indifferent. I died once, risen twice. Revenge? Hollow crown. But redemption? That was the twist worth living.